friends, this is the Cryptonian. Welcome back to my channel. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently is at 38,200 and about 30, which is actually really good news. But before we get into the charts, let's take a look at the market on CoinGecko. We're taking a look here. Bitcoin is up 3.3% for the week, 3.7 for the 24-hour period. Ethereum responding in kind, 3.7 for the week and 3.4 for the 24-hour period. And you can see down here that the altcoins are in green once again. Solana up 8% today. And we have Cardano up 4% today. Dogecoin 5% today. So it does look like a lot of these altcoins are ready to run. Chainlink up 5.3% today, and Polygon 3.4%. I'll be taking a look at Polygon here in a moment. Taking a look at some of the bigger gainers, we see Caspa up 9%, and most of that is just today. Taking a look at also, let's see, there's another one, Thorchain Ruin 17% just for today, 16% for the week. Mantle 13% for the week and 7.3% for the day. That's pretty big when you're considering Bitcoin is at resistance and struggling. Taking a look at Stacks, 11% just for today, 17% for the week. Celestia TIA 13.7% for the week, and for the day, and 17% for the week. So you can see that the market is responding to Bitcoin's move here. Now, in a previous, taking a look at the 4-hour chart, in a previous video, actually a couple previous videos, I said that we were rejected here, and this was kind of a warning sign, and then we came back down. I pretty much called it right. I said it looks like we could be going lower here, and we did. I called 36,600, 36,700, I think, around that area, as the line of support at the 100 moving average. That's exactly where we actually found support and reversed and pushed higher. This was here in the right above the diagonal support line. I mentioned that as well, and I said the price action to look for would be a retest here of the midline here of these moving averages to move higher. I said if we failed here, then we probably could or would go lower. That did not occur. I also said that if we did not fail here, if we continued to push through this area, then we could actually retest 38, and that's actually what we're doing now. We're seeing a nice retest of 38. You can see where we had a sell-off here, but now we had actually a closure here, and it looks like the bulls are continuing to buy on this next candle here, and we still have about 3 hours left on this candle. So what's good news is that we actually closed a 4-hour candle above this white line of resistance. White line of resistance, 37,800. And of course, we really need to get above that 38,000. We need this candle here to close in about 3 hours above that $38,000 level. If we can do that, then that's going to be good. But we actually, for the bulls, if we want to really make sure that this price stays above 38,000, we really need to go higher and break up to 39,420. That is where we have previous resistance. You can see that this diagonal resistance, like so, actually at this moment in time, if we were to go straight up, that brings us to about 39,420. And but this is going to be a tough area to break through. Bitcoin is just grinding and grinding. Now we're taking a look at the date. Today's November 28th. We're closing out November, and the question is, are we going to continue with the bullishness through December? I think we will, but I think towards the end of the month we're going to see some type of a momentum change, and possibly price action stall, go sideways, or maybe even have a sell-off. I think there will be some type of a sell-off towards the end of the year, and I mentioned this in previous videos because of taxes And because of the holidays, gift giving, people want money, for the holidays and etc. So that being said, everything looks pretty good with Bitcoin right now. We are just, like I said, testing this 38,000. Looks like the buyers want to push through this area, and right now RSI right now is 66 on the 4 hour. This is bullish, and 100 on the price cycle. This is showing that we are pushing the top of the range here, and so we could go higher. EMA trend is bullish, and the volume trend is in accumulation. So the volume is going up, and that's because we had this move here. And so this is good news. This is good news. Now, a couple of things that we need to think about. If we push through 38, then the level that we're going to be looking for at resistance is right up here at 39 and maybe 39.40. And so I think we're probably going to hit some resistance here at 39 because of this resistance line here in the channel. That would be the top of that channel. But when we take a look at this, you can see that we've had higher lows, and now we're working on a higher high. So to be able to put this into momentum, 38,004, actually 38,500. We need to get above that 38,500 to be able to hit that 39, 40,000, maybe even in the low 40s. So taking a look at the daily, we can see here that everything looks good on the daily. We can see here we had a nice consolidation range here for several days, and now we're testing the upper range here, trying to break out. We're still in the red box of resistance. Red box of resistance, 38,500 is where we need to break above that. And then let me take a look at price action here on the weekly. Let's see here real quick. So taking a look at the price action on the weekly, that would bring us, yes, if we break above this 38,500 level, then yeah, that looks like we could possibly hit that 39, 40, 41, and that would bring us into the zero point 0.5 Fibonacci resistance zone. And this is typically in the past where we have seen major corrections and major profit taking. So we have to be careful about that. Again, we are still hitting a high RSI, overextended RSI on the weekly. RSI now 76. Everything else is pretty much bullish, and volume is in accumulation. You can see here that we are pushing up through this resistance of 38, trying to test this and break above it. But you see that we have these red dots, and so it looks like it's going to be a slow grind here to the upside. Looks like these the whales, the buyers, the bulls, they're aware of the high RSI. High RSI actually means that we have a lot of strength, but it also means that a lot of people have been buying for quite some time, and it does mean that things are kind of overheated on the weekly. We're very far away from the 30-day moving average here, and even far away from the 10-day moving average here. So I don't think, or excuse me, the weekly, 30 weekly moving average, 30 moving average, and the 10 moving average. And so usually you can see after we have a nice extension to the upside, we always come back to at least the 10 moving average on the weekly. And so the question is, how much longer can this go to the upside before we have significant pullback or some type of consolidation here? And again, I think, if we break through 38, we could probably hit 40, 41 briefly. And then I think we're going to have some type of a pullback or consolidation at that level. So enjoy the markets while you can. We only have a few more weeks left of this extremely bullish price action, I think, before we get to the end of the week, or excuse me, end of the year, and we see significant selling for the holidays and for tax time. Taking a look at the the watch list that I have here to the right, we can see that we have Bitcoin up 2.7% today. Everything else is up as well. As I said before, Solana looking good, 6%. Fetch AI up almost 5%. Render up 5%. One that I wanted to take a look at is Matic. However, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily real quick and take a look at some statistics. Here on the daily, we can see RSI is strong, looking good, and everything else is bullish as well. Accumulation is 96, so we are having a push. Now you can see that we do have room to push higher with this RSI. And before we had this overextended, overheated condition, but on the daily, we're actually in the 60s. Now, if we go lower, we do see we're still in the 60s on the 4-hour as well. And let's see, but on the 1-hour, we are hitting a high RSI, so we could have a temporary cool off, or we could have maybe one more, let's see, maybe one more pullback, a shallow pullback, and then, or maybe some consolidation like this, and then another push higher here. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we are kind of overextended, overheated on the 1-hour. We can see the red dot here. We had that a few hours ago. On the 2-hour, okay, we're not overextended. We're looking good. 4-hour, not overextended, looking good. So we could have a few hours where we take a little bit of a sideways consolidation here. Try to consolidate above that $38,000 level, and then push higher from here. And then that being said, on the daily, we still have room to run. But what's really holding us back is that weekly. We're not having a lot of room to run with the RSI, and the distance from the moving averages are significant, very significant. We can see all of this gap here, and that is that's telling us that if we do push higher, it's going to be brief, and then we'll have to have some type of correction. That being said, one other coin I'd like to take a look at is Matic, and I talked about this before. When we take a look at Matic on the daily, we can see that Matic here is at support. And so Matic, in my book, in my opinion, not investment advice, Matic here is a buy, and this is a good place to add to your positions. In my opinion, and in my book, I will be looking at adding positions here with Matic as well. I know some of you think maybe Matic is the older last cycle coin, and it is, but there are some possibilities here. Matic is a solid project and has done very well, and so it's more of a safer play. You're probably not going to see as much gains here as some of these younger, newer coins. These newer coins are going to be very volatile, though. Regardless, I think Matic is a solid project and a solid buy here at the level where it's at now. We are at the 50, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, and just below that is the 0.6, and this right here is what's called the golden pocket. And so this is the golden pocket for Matic, and I do think that as long as Bitcoin doesn't have a big sell-off, then Matic probably will start moving higher, inching higher, and probably hit anywhere from 87 to 98 once again. We could probably see something like, excuse me, let me bring this back over. We could probably see something like this, maybe a lower high, and then something like this, and then a breakout, a really big breakout, pushing much higher. So, but anyway, we are at the 0.5, 0.6 Fibonacci golden pocket, and so in my opinion, Matic is a buy. So that being said, thank you for watching. I don't want to make the video too long, and looks pretty good so far. But I have my I have my reservations how far this can go right now. Um, we've, like I said, we just have a few more weeks. Are we going to hit this 40, 41, 42? We could, but like I said, we're so far away on the weekly. We're so far away from our moving averages and so far overheated right now. Uh, I think it's going to be a slow grind to the upside. I think we're going to see a lot of this and then maybe some sideways consolidation, up, sideways consolidation. And that's going to give the moving averages uh, opportunity and time to come up under the price and give it support. So, but I do think that we're going to have some type of a pullback. Um, the question is whether it's going to be soon, like so, or whether we're going to push higher and then have a correction from there after we hit that red box of resistance for the bears. This is the golden pocket for the bears on the macro chart. This is heavy, heavy, heavy resistance up here. So thank you for watching, friends. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week is great. Please click the like on the video. It helps the channel out. And also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on this journey. Take care.